All right. Today is day 40, 75 hard. And I had a hell of a day. I pushed pretty damn hard. I was pretty happy with it. Um, Excuse me. I had a damn first workout was an 8.15 miles ruck with a 30-pound plate carrier. It hurt a lot. Started about 4 miles in, just like right here, really on my right shoulder. So I'm not sure why it's pressing down right there more than anywhere else, but that's where I felt it the most. So right there, and then I've had a little trouble with my right hip for a couple of years now, and I started to feel that down through the hip into the knee, and I just kept going, kept pushing. The last, I think, mile was probably the worst. That last 7 to 8, and then that the 0.15 was just me grinding it out until the end. But ended up being super stoked with it. It was awesome. It was a great workout. I initially had thought, I'm gonna do 10. So I was gonna go from 6.28 to 10. And I knew the 6.28 had hurt. Like it had been, there had been pain doing it. So as I got close to it, it's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this off. And it's a very hot day. So there's a lot of factors. And the biggest one that I'm having to contend with, because I'd really like to, I want to do a half marathon with the ruck on, is water. So I actually at 4.7 miles stopped and drank 20 ounces of water and went to the bathroom, keeping the ruck on the whole time, and then just right back out the door. So probably an extra like minute or two onto the whole thing. So I don't know if that is the best way to do it, because I have to stay close to my house in order to execute on that. So it's kind of a decision that I've got to make on whether or not I want to do that. I could just walk kind of the block. It's a half mile. So, I could do that. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. So it's just, making that decision is kind of where I am right now. And I'm still kind of at odds with it. My wife even suggested do it without the ruck, but I want to do it with the ruck. So the other thought I had was that even hikers, people who are out doing long distance hikes, they take breaks, and they put the pack down, give their back a little break. So that's an option. Possibly have like little fueling sections where I take a few minutes, fuel, kind of get water, get fuel, and get back onto the path. So just kind of thinking those things through, trying to figure out what the best option is, because it took about 2 hours to get that 8 in. So if I'm going to go for 13, that's give or take 4 hours, because I was getting slower towards the end. But we'll see. And today was day 40 though, so that's a huge step. My second workout, I was down here in the gym, kettlebells, club bells, and body weight and core is kind of where the focus was today. A lot of core, even with the kettlebell and the club bells. Also a lot of shoulder. I don't work my shoulders very often, so I've been trying to incorporate them more often, get a little bit more, it's a push. I don't have the pull yet. I need to jump on this pull-up bar behind me and start working. But that's just, I dread that, and so I'm putting it off. That perhaps I need to suck it up and start getting in there and start, working those. Which, hey, that's another good goal. Right now, I think I can do about 3 pull-ups. So maybe I'll shoot for by 75, being able to do 10. I think that's a doable goal. It's 35 more days. So that, I think it's definitely something I can work on and make happen. And I have the ability to do pull-ups here. I have the ability to do pull-ups at work. So either way, I should be able to put in enough time to be able to do that. I've increased my push-ups since, well, not really since 75 hard started, but I have done a lot more push-ups this year. And now, hitting some consecutive push-ups isn't really a big deal. I'm not sure how many I can do, but I can do quite a bit. Let's see, food-wise, oh man, having an extra 200 calories is so nice. It's probably why I pushed so hard today with my workouts. But if I am going to be pushing this hard, I'm probably going to need to go up again. We'll kind of see. We're going to take it, little by little, see where this leads us, and then, either ramp it up, ramp it down, so I can get where I want to be, because I want to maintain a weight that's between really 185, 190, but I could settle between 180 and 190. So if it falls a little bit below 185, I'm not a big deal. I just don't want to go below 180. And that's just personal preference based on, past experience and, my body. I want to be able to have a resilient body that can take some impact and is also heavy enough that I can, dish out some punishment if necessary with it. I'm a martial artist, combat sports, like jiu-jitsu, Thai boxing, Jeet Kune Do, even Kung Fu, and, Kizi fighting method, or Kizi, I believe it's called now. But, all those things require the body to be a little bit more durable. So the thinner that I get, the less, fat I have on me to kind of cushion some of those blows that you can take in some of those arts. What else is going on? Water was good. I mean, I had to today to drink a lot of water. So, water was actually the least thing I was worried about today. Reading took me the longest. I actually just finished up reading just now, and so today was the sacrifice principle and the momentum principle, which he did a pretty good job on both of those. I think momentum was probably the better of the two, as far as in terms of like an example that made sense of how like they kind of captured the momentum of something else and kind of followed on with it, and then kind of gravitated onto something else and followed that momentum as well. They even used a good example with the fitness industry, like the home fitness products and things that kind of took off during the lockdowns and things that we were placed under. So, those were, that ended up being a pretty decent chapter, all in all. And sacrifice, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm having a hard time even remembering what they used as an example for that one. I don't know, it just wasn't like, it wasn't all that memorable, so it really didn't stand out as something that was really reflective of, what the message they were trying to get through. At least for me, it wasn't. I mean, I understand the principle because it's one that I employ quite a bit in my jiu-jitsu, and it's basically attack by drawing under Bruce Lee. So, God, I wish I could remember what they use, but can't. So that's that. But I mean, either way, it's okay. It's not the best book I've ever read, and definitely could have used more time on trying to figure out how those principles, because I think they know the principles really well in terms of the art of jiu-jitsu. I just don't think that they have spent much time outside in the real world. That they've been kind of insulated in that, jiu-jitsu sphere. So it is a different world in the martial arts world than it is outside. It's the same as most professions. Like, I know a lot of people in the, first responder community, and, they have kind of a jaded perspective on things because of the things that they see every day. It's hard to separate that, when you're not in those fields, you're not seeing, dead bodies and sick people, or people that are severely injured, or, people that are committing crimes, or, dealing with crazy people. So, or even car accidents. Like, those are things that those human beings see every single day, deal with every single day, whereas, the average person may be in a car accident at some point in their life. And that's the one car accident they experience. So, that event is extremely huge, whereas to a police officer, or fireman, or an ambulance driver, it's just today. They're just like, okay, well, this is another one of these today. Because they may have already dealt with 3 or 4 of them. Same thing with like a burglary or anything else. It's just another incident, another report that they got to write about. So, that keeping that perspective in mind is kind of interesting, and that's what I think. I think it's hard to sometimes step out of that sphere that you've always been in and really look out into a broader world that's out there, and really understand these people. Even though, one of the cool things about being a martial arts teacher is that you get to talk to and be around people of all different levels of society. So you're around, good people, bad people, people that are rich as all get out, and people that are not, they can barely afford your classes. And, you do get a little bit of their perspective if you take the time. But a lot of times, even then, instructors will gravitate towards the people who are most like them. And, that's just typical human nature. It takes effort to actually go and get to know people of different skills and things, and, experience. Well, I think that's actually pretty good thoughts of the day. I did do on my 8-mile ruck, about 3 miles of it I had a book on. The rest of it I just kind of trudged along in silence, and trying to just be alone with my thoughts and let my mind clear as much as I could. It was a nice exercise of doing so. So I'll probably, I've been incorporating it a lot more often. I think it's a good habit to get into, is just for at least, 15, 20 minutes, turn off the music, turn off any audiobooks, just have that bit of silence. At first it seems a little nutty, and it's hard to be motivated, because it's you and the steps that you're taking, or it's you and the weight you're lifting. But it's actually kind of nice. It actually it lets those juices inside your brain, like, that want to get out, that want to flow, that want to think. It lets them have that time to get out there, and lets you kind of observe them and see what's going on, and formulate things a little better, and even find direction in avenues that you're trying to achieve things in. That's all I can think of right now. Make sure, if you do that, and you think of something while you're working out, when you get back, if you're not too just completely trashed, write it down. Because I know that I lose some things if I don't, and then I have to rediscover them again. So that's just a good piece of advice. Write it. If you have a thought that you think is important, put it on paper. Put it out there in the world. So that's how you start to make it reality, is getting it out of your head and into the world. All right. Well, that's all I got for today. Again, day 40. Awesome. Excited. Hard push today. Gonna be sore tomorrow, but gonna get up, gonna crush the morning, and go to work, and then try to get that fit break in while I'm at work, and be done before I get home. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for if you find value in this, thank you for sharing it. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for liking the videos, and any comments, good or bad, I appreciate them. Help me grow the channel, and right now, we're just getting the word out about 75 Hard and kind of what it's like on a day-to-day basis. But ultimately, this is gonna morph into some other stuff, so stay tuned. That's another good reason to subscribe, is see what's coming up in the future, because I think I've got some pretty cool ideas, but we'll see. So don't forget, also check out my Instagram handle, will be in the description. And as always, First Form, those are the products that I use. Primarily Level 1, Formula 1 and Ignition. I do use their magnesium, OptiGreens and OptiReds to finish off my day, to help with my recovery while I'm sleeping. And Full Mega. Full Mega is their fish oil, and it's fantastic, especially, like, I'm 44, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for 20 years, and kind of off and on in fitness for most of my life. So my joints have taken a beating throughout the years, and that definitely helps kind of mitigate some of the strain that I'm putting on them. And especially now that I'm really pushing to kind of be in the best shape I've ever been in my life. So that's all. So thank you. Have a good evening, and I'll see you on day 41. Man, my remote's not working to turn it off.